Myself and the gang have had a little bit of this Marlborough and Nelson region experience. Stopped at the winery, really grounded ourselves here in this place, and we're on our way to Freestyle now. Now, we love Freestyle very much. Definitely our biggest supplier of New Zealand-based hops, and for good reason. Super passionate group of people, one of the very few, if not the only, direct-to-pellet plant. Hops are typically harvested, kilned, baled, stored, and then pelletized. Whereas here at Freestyle, they harvest, kiln, and then directly into the pelletizer and the cooler. So those hops are as preserved as any. And it's that type of, passion and care for quality control that makes us love this hop farm that we're about to visit. The team is incredibly excited. We've got a big chunk of peacherine this year that we are desperate to brew with. Last year we had a smaller contract and we tried to stretch it out as much as possible. But if you're a fan of beers like Silver Fern or any of our New Zealand-based beers, that our 11th anniversary beer had peacherine in it, Eureka peacherine, it's just a hop that we've fallen in love with. And Freestyle is the only grower that grows it and sells it. So one thing that's really important to us is to experience what that hop is like on the vine, kind of grounding it in this place so that when we're back home brewing with it, we can really try to honor that expressive character that only presents itself typically in the field.
Hi, do you smell this right now?
Yeah.
Smells pretty good.
How we doing?
Not bad.
How's the peacherine harvest going?
Pretty good. Yeah. So some of the different varieties that we grow here are Motueka, Riwaka, Nelson Sauvin, Southern Cross, a little bit of New Zealand Cascade, some Waimea, and then at the end of the season, the last thing we pick usually is Raw Cow. And then now with our breeding program, we've got a few new things coming through, things like peacherine and a couple other advanced selections that we're pretty excited about. So yeah, we'll just kind of see where it goes. Peacherine is really an interesting hop in that it's got a combination of really lovely stone fruit character and still nice citrus background. And with most other varietals, the two things often don't coexist together. It got the name peacherine because in the sort of field sensory descriptive notes, people would always put peach/nectarine. And so hence the ultimate name peacherine.
How was the harvest window for these relative to last year? I might have missed it.
We're just, I think, ever so slightly earlier on this.
Okay.
This block is probably getting picked kind of 2 days-ish earlier than last year.
Okay.
I think we're still relatively early with peacherine and understanding exactly what we're chasing in the field to get the best result in finished beer.
Yeah.
And I think, we're still learning, but we think what we're after is just really high stone fruit intensity in the field and really low vegetal character. So like as little of that iceberg lettuce, cucumber note coming through as possible.
Yeah. That's why we love David and Freestyle. He was just saying something that we know all too well, which is that it's not all the time that what you experience here in the field translates into the finished beer. And that's really the crux of why we're making this film, is to help us connect the dots and help you understand how much effort we put into connecting those dots so that what we experience all the way out here in New Zealand will ultimately translate into your glass. Because man, is it magical to smell these peacherine here in person.
There's only a limited set of breweries at the moment that use peacherine. Peacherine is quite new. We just don't have that much of it in the ground. There's only so many places it can go in a sense. So it's generally at the moment going exclusively to breweries that work with us in our research collective, who participate in providing us feedback with anything new out of the breeding program like peacherine. We really want to be getting as much good feedback as possible so that we can go as quickly as possible from we've got something new and cool to we actually understand how to get the most out of this.
This particular selection, I'm taken aback by how few American breweries are actually here. In my estimation, being here and experiencing these hops on the vine help us to better understand how they result in the finished beer. So it's a feedback loop where we, the brewers, come in, we work directly with the farmers to experience these hops on the vine. We then experience those same lots on the table, pelletized, and then all the way back in Massachusetts, we get to brew with them. So we can connect the dots between what translates out in the field into a finished beer that's actually good. And you can't do that unless you make this trip, and that's why this trip is so valuable to Treehouse, to come here to New Zealand to make that connection. You hyped to use those in the cellar or what?
Oh my god.
Like legit peaches.